these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib, ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. I got tired of complaining, I got up and changed my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. And we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Hit to hit with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a Sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, no. I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Call us dangerous, ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us, no barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the bird, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Masterpiece, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the final 3 weeks play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up. And we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Luck. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. And for this offense, yellow highlighter around Trent Williams.
As well there should be. A Pro Bowl, all-pro type of a left tackle. So mobile, you could also see him as a tight end. This guy is a terrific football player.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Ito Smith, his first carry. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. They'll fake it. Now Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Jabril Peppers deep to receive. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here now are the Panthers for their first drive of the game. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Set, 19, 24, 54, watch 54. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run. Kill.
First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So here are the starters for this offensive unit. Lamar Miller, very good out of the backfield.
And getting better all the time. The more touches he gets in a game, the bigger his impact on it.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lamb. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. And a 55.
From the gun, here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line.
Kicking team.
Well, that was pretty obvious. He didn't let him catch it.
Agreed, and what's hard is you make that long run downfield to try and cover it, but you got to locate the football as well.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. On the draw, this is Smith. Preston Smith there on the stop. Here are your defensive starters for the Panthers. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. It's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now Love. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so.
Now a hit and Locke lost the football. It's out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Check 49, check 49.
Under 10 points down, he's coming. At 31.
Undercrunch.
This is Miller. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Defensive starters, here they are for Atlanta. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
54 Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming. 54. Let's switch. Motion.
Hey, we got to snap it. We got to.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Watch 85. Hey. SOS.
Out of the gun, Watson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Here's Locke. And he will find his man on the outside. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked into what they're doing offensively. And now they've earned the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively, they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Now it's Love. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Phillips there to knock that one away. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
On second down now, it's Miller, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Lamb. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one good for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 50, it's Watson. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 40. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Shane Ray in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Another try after the first down sack. Watson, and it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time, and now it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here's Watson, and he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on fourth.
All day, every day, any day. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight.
And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. All right, there's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game,
blitz coming, and down he goes. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Luck now to throw. And he will find Davis. That's complete. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. A shotgun snap for Locke. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
That's into the hands of Pascal. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by DeMonte Casey. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line. You set. You 18. 55, Mike. That's what I do.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson able to shake him off. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Jam, 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 jam. Pilot 64, weak. You're out. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Ready.
Again, it's Miller. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
I'm going to hit you all.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Call it a gain is 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a give right side. It's Grant, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Grant. 20. And he will take it across for Panthers touchdown. Corey Grant with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And that one puts them on top here in the third. A drive that time of 6 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Watch the slack, watch the slack, watch the slack. Hey, switch gears.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Luck. Completes it to Davis. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Corey Davis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Dan Quinn's told his offense, let's try and get 2 more. Out of the gun, Luck. And that is caught for the 2 points. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
This pass finds its way to Williams. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Miller. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. A first down carry now for Miller. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 11. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lamb. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. In for the score, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with an extra point. Well, there you go, Charles, his first touchdown pass in the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Smith trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Smith. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this is fielded in the end zone. And they had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive.
Kill. Squeeze. Get it. Set. Go.
Now it's Edwards. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They run once more with Edwards. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. On first down, Miller. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a give, right side. It's Grant. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw here. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 17-yard line.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
This quarterback now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. Miller. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home.
They will run with Grant. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. They go back to Grant. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers at the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Andrew Luck in the offense. Down by 7. A little over 40 seconds to go. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Back to throw.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. They snap it to Love. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers are going to win the football game. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. They'll keep it on the ground. Miller. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Panthers, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew,
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.